All right, so we're getting ready to finish up our AI estimating for Division 3. We've already done Division 1, Division 2, and the setup in the very beginning. I think we're maybe about 15 or 16 minutes in. We're trying to see if we can do 3 in one day. So I've asked AI to give me the list of the Division 3 items. And so this is what it's asking for: concrete footings, concrete walls, concrete pump or line pump, concrete slab, rebar, drives and walks. So I got my takeoff here, and I've already done some takeoff. So I know what my lineal footage is, and so all I have to do is tell Claude how many lineal feet of footing, and it has the calculations in it to get the cubic yardage and the rebar and all that kind of stuff. And then the concrete walls are going to start from this corner of the building, come around and go around the main level garage, come around and then stop here. And then I'm probably going to have about a 30-foot retaining wall coming out right this way. And there's a little decorative 10-foot wall coming across here. So I'm going to give Claude all those quantities, which I've actually already done. And then I'm going to ask it to print those out for me. So, okay, I am ready to display the quantities and total amounts. All right, so I'm going to ask it to kind of republish those. And it says here's the full set. Okay, so it's got concrete footings, subcontract, and it's got the total is a little over $4,000. I had an assembly on this, and the assembly meant, hey, I've got this rate to dig, I've got this much for rebar, I've got a layout, and I've got bulkheads that are in there. So it kind of split all those out, and those added up, come up to a little over 4,000. Then I've got the concrete material, and it came up with 28 yards. And it tells me the calculation, kind of how it came up with the $4,200. And then the concrete walls, there was 169 lineal feet, and they are 10 foot tall. And so it's got a calculation for that. And then of course here's the material for that it did automatically. And then I wanted 3 line pumps at $24 a piece. So the house that I'm building, it has a very long lot. The house is 400 feet off the street. It goes uphill. I'm going to do a video kind of showing that tomorrow. I've got a neat little tool I'm going to show you about trying to do building level elevations. We'll talk about that. But I think I want to put maybe a little bit more money in here in the other for the concrete slab. So for batter boards and string and concrete slab other. All right, I'll have it do that. And then I've got a very long driveway, and I'm going to go ahead and put $30,000 in there for that. And so yeah, we'll be ready to kind of push this out. So it asks me if I'm ready to push, and I'm gonna say yes. All right, so we're gonna take a look at the software here. There we go. So as you can tell, I'm gonna go into the estimate on social media test, and then here's my O3 items. Let me expand this window so we can see the units and everything. All right, so we've got concrete footings. Yes, the $4,100. The concrete footing, that was the labor. And then we've got the material at $4,200, and we've got concrete walls at $16,175, and material at $7,800, so forth and so on. So you can kind of see all that kind of stuff. So there we go. We've got AI, and then one of the things I really like about it, I'm gonna kind of move this in a little bit too, is it gives me all the calculations and notes and tells me what it did.